7 deadly bins. These are the interesting times. Hello everyone, my name's Matt Johnston and welcome to the Interesting Times, a show that looks and laughs at UK politics. Rishi Sunak has scrapped a load of pledges that were made to reduce the UK's carbon emissions and get us to net zero by 2050. It's a U-turn that has not been popular with so many people, including this guy.
Having to share my SUV with strangers in order to get to the gym.
What about your family?
Britain is actually a leader in climate change. We've reduced our emissions by half. That started under the last Labour government. It continued by the Tories. We lead in renewable energy. And the other bad thing about the U-turn, quite apart from the fact that when governments do U-turns it's not great, is a loss of leadership.
That was Conservative peer Ed Vaizey having a chuckle at the ridiculousness of the party that he's a part of. And he's not the only Tory feeling blue. Here is Minister that signed the UK up to the net zero pledge, and man thinking, well, that was a bloody waste of time, Chris Skidmore.
I've said it's potentially the greatest mistake of his premiership so far.
Yes, I'm liking the so far add-on. Apparently it'll be easier to dig for oil once you hit rock bottom. Rishi Sunak, though, has gone above and beyond for the working classes on net zero. He's even scrapped policies that weren't policies and claimed credit for it. Here he is delivering his speech in front of the only crowd left in the country that still believes him.
I'm going to make the big decisions that are right for the long-term interests of our country, even if those are difficult, because that's how we're going to bring change. That's how we're going to build a better future for our children.
A better future? Wait a minute. If there are only sheep there, how come I can smell bullshit? This is clearly an attempt to pander to the flat-earthing climate deniers that normally vote for you lot. Get in the bin. So, amongst the pledges that are going are...
The idea that government can tell you what to eat? Gone. The idea that government can force you to have 7 different bins in your home? Gone. The idea that government can create new taxes to discourage flying or taking holidays? Gone. The idea that government can tell you how many passengers to have in your car? Gone.
He's also going to scrap taxes on coughing, farting, burping and forcing everyone to eat their greens.
Rishi Sunak also said that he'd blocked plans to tax meat, introduce compulsory car sharing and make people sort their rubbish into 7 bins. Can you remind me when these things were actually going to happen? Because, I mean, maybe I've got amnesia, I can't remember any of these.
All right, well, listen, I'm Justice Secretary, as you know, but I think I don't know precisely who has said these things.
7
What I do
bins.
know...
This was advice which we were given. On the previous show that I was on, people were criticising us for not following the Climate Change Committee's advice. The 7 bins was in the Environment Act 2021.
So it was actually 7 bins? I thought it was 7 streams of recycling.
7 streams of bins. 7 streams, 7 bins.
7 streams, 7 bins, 7 samurai, 7 brides for 7 mothers. 7 swans are swimming. The point is that the government were criticised when they didn't listen to the Climate Committee's advice, so they've decided to not listen to the Climate Committee's advice. And now people are criticising them. You can't win. Well, at least that's what the polls are saying. But of course, these ideas have come from the top. The Prime Minister himself, a man most likely to say, what is this thing you call love, human? From hero to net zero, Rishi Sunak.
And now as Prime Minister, I've got an opportunity to change things. And what I don't want to do is make yet more short-term decisions, easy ways out, that ultimately not be straight with the country about what those mean for them, the cost that those are imposing on them. I don't believe that's the right thing to do. I want to make the right decisions for the long term of our children, of our country.
Ironic that he should be scrapping these pledges while stood in front of a lectern promising a brighter future. If you scrap these pledges, it'll put a hole in the ozone that will give you a brighter future that will melt your face off. And that's it. Now time to talk about some good news.
Breaking news, and that is that media tycoon Rupert Murdoch has announced he's going to be stepping down as chairman of Fox and News Corp.
Apparently evil never dies, but it's good to see it retire. And speaking of right-wing gaslighting, poisoning, shit-stirring, no time to talk about GB News on their continuous campaign for free speech and stopping cancel culture.
Remember, Ofcom are on your case.
I'm not having this. I'm being told
I'm not having this.
No,
I'm not having this.
Don't be patronising to me, Michael. If I queue off from a show, I'll tell you that for free.
If you want, I'll go now.
No, If you want to go now, go now.
You two attack me non-stop. You're not an impartial presenter.
Attack me.
I'm going.
You're going. Right, well, I'll take over then.
Well, no, excuse me. I know you think you're hilarious, but I'm going to the break for no reason other than we've wasted all of our time when we could have been having a constructive, productive conversation about Brexit.
I'm not having it on my show, and I would absolutely give you the right to reply, but unfortunately, we have to go to the ad break now. I said, unfortunately. Thank you. I was pushing the emergency button for long enough. This follows on from Andrew Pearce and Bev Turner's very public bust-up, but it does look like they've now made up a story about how well they're getting on. No time to talk about the fact that autumn is upon us, which means silly season is here once again, or, to give it its official name, party conference season. Lib Dems have kicked us off by deciding that they are no longer a rejoin party. People aren't talking about Brexit on the doorstep, says Ed Davey. No, they're saying, what are you doing on my doorstep? No time to talk about the fact that the Labour Party are also not a rejoin party. Were they ever? We've left the EU and we are definitely not going back, according to Labour Party leader and man 1 year away from saying, dear God, this is worse than anything we could have imagined. Keir Starmer.
You've used a very absolute phrase, which is there is no case. That means never. Is that really
There's no case for going back into the EU.
No case for going back, no matter what the people of the UK want. What's my job again? It seems, though, that while the politicians are dragging their heels, the people are definitely marching on, as seen by the Rejoin EU march. Who is that handsome chap? Yes, yesterday saw a march for rejoining of the European Union at Westminster. So the Daily Express decided to choose 6 Brexit wins we couldn't have had without that fateful referendum. They do include swapping a big trade deal for a small one, immigration and annoying Gary Lineker. No time to talk about the Minister for Irritation. That's a misprint. Robert Jenrick doing what he does worst.
You're arguing, I think, that the
I'm asking you for the evidence.
I think your argument is, and this is the Labour Party's position as well.
I'm asking you for the evidence.
The sole way to protect our borders is to have an incredibly efficient system that waves people in, processes their claims quickly, and enables them to get on with their life in the UK.
The last thing any of us wants is efficiency. And if you wanted an efficient system, then you shouldn't have voted us in, should you?
Let me ask a question, because I feel like you may be talking out the time.
I am not taking all the time. Oh, that's my Uber here. Sorry, got to go.
The fundamental question here is...
No, the fundamental question is...
If you process claims quickly, you'll stop people coming across on small boats. I don't think that's right.
Based on what?
Because I don't think that just having a system where you wave people into this country is an efficient way to manage your borders.
Sorry, so you just don't think that, or you've got some evidence that that is the case?
I do not believe.
I believe that my beliefs trump your facts, which is a bit of a running theme for this lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you are enjoying these vids, then please do like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.